Hello, my friends. Welcome. Oh, my goodness. Are we going to have a good time today? We are going to be creating this amazing triple fold card. Let me share this one with you. Yep, belly band. Always a little fun, right? And look at this beauty. Oh my gosh. We're going to do some stamping. We're going to do some designer series paper. We're going to make some homemade designer series paper. And we're going to create some really, really gorgeous cards together today. So let me bring my friends on the screen. And let's see what everyone is up to today. And we'll do that. Good morning.
Good morning.
What are we up to? I don't know yet.
Do what?
I said, I don't know what I'm up to. It's too soon to decide what I'm up to.
Exactly.
Well,
I'm barely
I
awake.
was saying before we started, I typically try to go to bed at a reasonable hour on Wednesday nights because I have a live the next morning. I guess I forgot it was Wednesday. I was up way too late.
Oh, no.
And I am yawning like crazy this morning. This is not good.
Well, it's all right.
Those
things happen, right?
Last night was actually the first night in probably at least a week that I managed to be in bed before midnight because I didn't go to rehearsal last night. So I got home a little bit early. I've been working on designing the wigs for our show because it takes place in the 80s, and 80s hair is very important to me. So I have been up until I've been up until 1 a.m. the last couple nights putting curlers in wigs and steaming them and styling them. So last night I was like, no, let's actually go to bed and get a full 8 hours as a treat.
I could send you some pictures from me in the 80s.
That'd be perfect.
That's
really the 80s
big hair. Big hair.
Big hair and perms.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
But don't go in
1989 specifically. My big problem is there's currently an off-Broadway production of this show, and it's very clear that they're just really trying to appeal to Gen X or to Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Gen X would hate this because the main character's hair has as much volume as mine does. And that is, I'm pretty sure in 89, that was a federal crime. So I told the director, I'm like, I can't allow flat hair to happen on this stage.
No.
Please let me go at this with a teasing brush and some curlers.
Right. And Aquanet.
Yes, of course. I need to get a bottle because my newfangled Tresemme is not cutting it.
No, I bet.
Okay, so I had, and bear with us, friends. We usually do a little talking, giving everyone a chance to get on. I had this product. I think it had like an Eiffel Tower on it, and it was a little bottle of hairspray. Okay, it's about like that. And I remember you take your bangs and you go, and then you'd let go, and they just stay there.
And that's what I need.
And that stuff would not fall. It was great stuff. And and how many of you, because I see some of you guys, 80s hair, but you do that. And if you didn't have this spray, you'd like spray it and then you get your blow dryer.
Take your hair dryer. Mm-hmm.
And then you let go and just go. Oh,
the problem
I had great hair in the 80s.
I'm teasing up these wigs, and on the wig head that they're sitting on, I'm like, I just feel like this isn't getting big enough. And then I try it on myself, and I look like a drag queen because my hair is sitting about this high off of my head. And I went, okay, no, it's too big now. It's actually way too big on a person.
Well, I thought you kind of looked like Dolly Parton. You had great.
It was very Dolly.
She sent me a picture, and she had this huge. I said, yeah, that might be a little too big.
Oh, I made one that I was like, oh my gosh, it looks just like Winona Ryder in the movie. It's perfect. And then I put it on my head and I went, no, I look like a rejected Hairspray extra. So we're learning. It's a process.
That's funny. Hey, I saw a question up here, Connie. Nancy was asking about my clothesline.
Oh, yeah.
Behind me. So I got that from IKEA. It was actually a kitchen thing where you hung your utensils and stuff, for those little
you could get Yeah.
And I just used it for my cards, and that's what I hang all my cards from. And those are all cards I've actually received, not ones I've made. They're all from people. Aww. And I have to laugh because probably one of my favorite things that I have hanging up there is the flap of a box I received from, I don't know, something I ordered. And at the time, Perry, my son, was my delivery driver, and it says, I heart you, Mama. So I cut the flap up. It's hanging on my clothesline.
That's
I love that.
Yes.
And I got one from Christina. It's just a strip of paper, and it says, it's hanging up on my pegboard back there. Thank you for being my mom and staying home with me.
Aww.
Yeah. I wrote it yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
your penmanship has not even improved. So
it hasn't. Still write like an 8-year-old.
And I think that goes back to why we do what we do, because that handmade card, even if it's just a handwritten note on a piece of paper or a cardboard box flap, that is a hug, and that means a lot to people. So
at the Creative 8 retreat this last weekend, Brandy Cox we were sharing some of our favorite cards that we received, and 2 of hers were cards that her boys made her, with the stick figure mama on the front. And they are super special. Yeah. Well, I hope today's cards will end up on somebody's mantle or up on their IKEA clothesline.
And I want to encourage people, mail your cards. It doesn't do any good to make them. Mail them.
I'm the worst at it.
But mail them. So,
and it's hard. Like for what I do, I make 3 cards of each one. So I make my sample, I make my reel, and then I make the one for the video. So I have 3 of everything. And so, I tend to just go, okay, I've got lots of these, but I need to.
Michelle Deshawn just posted, and she said that the clothesline is now actually in the drapery section in IKEA because she had to find it on her last trip.
Oh, good to know.
Okay, good to know.
I know I've seen it there in the kitchen section because
that's where I got mine. But hey,
I think we bought it for something. And you get these little hooks with clippies on them. And I know I had them at one time. So, okay, guys, I think we are ready to jump in and get started.
Stamp.
Thanks for letting us chat for a little bit.
Let's stamp.
So let's get things moved around here. All right. So I am going to start with this card here. So this is my designer series paper card. And then I'll show you some tips on how we're going to create our own designer series paper, because that's always fun, right? Okay. As always, guys, I've got a free download that goes along with the cards, because there are some pretty distinct scoring measurements. And so you're going to want to have that. And here's all your supplies, measurements, photos, QR code that you can scan to come back here and watch the video if you need to. Guys, you'll find it at simplysimplestamping.com or and you know what, this says June 26th. Ignore that. It's actually July 31st. This card was one that we actually, we could not get the live to work that week. We tried everything and it was so blurry and so grainy. We had to give up. Something was happening with the internet that day. Also, there is a supply list here. Guys, you can click this graphic or follow the link and you can order any of the supplies that I'm using today. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so I hope you'll look into that. Let's jump in. Okay, here we go, guys. Summer Splash, a favorite color of mine. We're going to start. This is a 5.5 by 11 inch piece of Summer Splash. I know it is a little bit bigger than what we usually have, but this is a triple fold, so we kind of need a little extra here. I've got some scoring lines to go over with you. I have scored at 1 1/4, 5.5, and 9 1/4. Okay. So let me kind of show you really quick how this card goes together, because it can be a little confusing. So if you'll fold your card in half, by the way, there's that 1 1/4 inch section. Okay. And now we're going to fold the 1 1/4 inch section back. Oops. Nope. I did it wrong. We're going to fold it in half. we're going to take this section. So this is probably 2 inches, I guess. We're going to score that one back or fold that one back, and this one goes over. Okay. So your smaller section will be on your left. Your larger section will be on the right. And you can see it does not quite meet there. It's going to do something like that. Okay. So we're going to jump in and do some stamping. We're going to be using 2 stamp sets today. Sweet Blooms and Pretty Florals. I'm choosing Pretty Florals for my flowers, but I didn't have any sentiments, and this stamp set kind of goes along with it. They just kind of complement each other nicely, so we're going to be using both of those today. And let's go ahead. I'm going to start with Summer Splash. Let me grab some scratch paper here because I'll probably be stamping off. All right. So you see how we folded our card. I need to stamp on this section here, okay? This section only. And I'm going to do this in Summer Splash. And I have got the word hello, and I have a little leaf. And we're going to be so random. There's no right or wrong here, okay? Just stamping away. Wanda's here. Holly's here. So glad you guys are joining us. Nancy. Hi, Nancy. So glad you guys are here. All right. I think that's pretty good. Now we're going to take the word hello, and we're going to fill in wherever we feel like it needs a little something. Okay. This just kind of dresses it up rather than having plain or adding more designer series paper. We want to kind of keep it simple. All right. So there's that section. I'll tell you what, I think we're going to go ahead and do all of our stamping. So let's go ahead and do a little bit more. We've got 2 pieces of basic white. I've got a 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 square. And then this is for the inside 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. So let me kind of show you. It's going to be this section right here for the inside. So it is a little bit smaller maybe than what you're used to. So I'm going to start with Peach Pie. And this card is going to say bloom where you're planted. And do we just love great big sentiments? They're so fun. Okay. That will go right there. And bring in a little misty moonlight. I loved the color combination of the designer series paper. This is going to be the Florals in Bloom designer series paper. So we're going to say bloom where you're planted. And don't we love to stamp things crooked on purpose? We love it. All right, let's see. I've got my misty moonlight out. So let's go ahead. We're going to stamp the stem of our flower. And yeah, I'm stamping off just a little bit. And let's see. You know what? Real quick, guys, I had that Summer Splash. I made a mess. We're going to stamp hello in the upper left corner there. I can move that now. And I'm going to stamp my stem about right there. Okay. Let me kind of close some things up so I don't do something silly, because, it is me. Now we're going to stamp our flower in the peach pie. And here's what I'm going to do. So we're going to take the solid flower, and I'm going to stamp off because that's pretty bright. We're going to stamp that there. We're going to repeat that right here for the front. And now we can take the detail and boom. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this stamp set. You've seen me use it a lot. I'm going to continue to do so. Okay, friends, we're done with stamping. And so now we're going to put a card together. Can you believe it? It goes together, really, it goes together so fast. So I have some designer series paper here. And let's see, I'm trying to keep it all in order here. Let's see, where did I start? I got to get, no. Yeah, there we go. something like that. It's all good. So I had you kind of go in order for a reason, because especially here, I wanted the paper to kind of flow. All right. So this started out as a 5 1/4 or 7 1/4, or sorry, 7 1/2 by 5 1/4. And we are going to bring in our card. And let me go over those measurements. So I have a 1 1/2, a 5 1/4. I'm sorry, that's what I did. Let's try that again. This is the 1 1/2. Well, I thought I had them in order. Let's just go for it, right? Let's just go for it. I have a 1 by 5 1/5. Okay, we're going to start again. We're going to bring in some beautiful designer series paper, Florals in Bloom. I've got 2 pieces that are 1 by 5 1/4. Let's just go ahead and add these to our card. I'm going to see if I can line these up. And it appears I cannot. And that is fine. It's fine. So I'm going to take, this is a 4 by 5 1/4. And that's going to go here on this second panel. And like I said, if you're not a designer series paper person, we're going to be making our own designer series paper here in a minute. So we can put those stamps to some good use. All right. We're going to put a 1-inch piece here. We're going to put a 1-inch piece right here. Oh, adhesive. Let's get going. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about. Sometimes you guys are having your own little conversation, and then because I can't keep up, I always feel kind of left out. Now, let me go ahead and show you before I adhere this last one. You want to make sure you're putting it on the right spot, okay? So it is going to be here inside, okay? And of course, always make sure your designer series paper is going the right way. So when you cut it, you're going to want that 7 1/2 up at the top. All right. Okay. Let's take our bloom where you're planted. So this is going to be where you'll write your message. I'm telling you, I just think this card, it is so bright and beautiful. I love it. Okay. We're going to take that last little square. We're going to adhere it to a piece of peach pie. And this is a 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. So we're just going to layer that. All right. Last thing, we're going to add a little belly band. So this is a 9 1/2 by 1 1/4. And I have scored this at 2 1/8 and 6 1/2. Okay. I give that a little quick score with our bone folder. And you're going to want to make sure it's kind of lining up in the center. Okay. And we will simply close that. I'm not worried. Whoops. I'm not worried that I'm going off the belly band because we're going to add this right here in the middle. So can you believe how fast that card was? Really, really crazy. Okay, we're going to center up our greeting. And now just a little simple ribbon. This is kind of a fun one. This is the Misty Moonlight and the White Starter ribbon kit. So it's got just a little bit of ribbon on each roll. But it's great if you're just kind of getting started in ribbon, but it's a great ribbon too. Ooh, let's do my mini glue dot tip. I love this tip. Whenever you're tying a ribbon, and you notice I'm just tying it right there on the belly band, I'm going to put a mini glue dot right there in the center. Can you guys see that? Just right there in the center. And now I'm going to start to tie my bow, and you notice I'm pulling straight up and down. And then if you'll press that onto the mini glue dot, look, it holds. I don't have to fight. You know how we're always trying to hold that little center in place. Now you don't have to. And you also see I like to leave my ribbon on the spool when I adhere it because I use a little less that way. Let's grab my scissors. And boom. That is how fast. I mean, guys, we started at just, I don't know, it was maybe about a 10-minute card. Probably less with me getting all flustered on the measurements of my designer series paper. But yeah, that is one simple, gorgeous card. This is going to fit in your medium-sized envelope. You're going to be able to mail that one, no problem. Okay, I tell you what, I'm going to flip things over. I'm going to clean up my mess, and we're going to let Christina take over for just a second. And we are going to say thank you to.
I'm in charge now.
You are. You are going to take over.
Yes, we want to give a big shout out to our YouTube members, our Simply Simple supporters. We love you. Our Unfold friends who get those diagrams and our happy hour live. We adore each and every one of you. And then we also have coming up our Fancy Fold fanatics, and they get the full written tutorials. They get a social hour before the happy hour. They get all kinds of fun stuff. We love each and every one of you, and we appreciate your joining our membership so much.
Thank you, guys. All right. We are ready
Connie,
now.
Can I just say how much fun I think happy hour is?
Isn't it? We do. We have a pretty good time over there.
We do. We do. I really enjoy it, and it's worth it. So,
you know, we take our time. We create a card, a kind of more fancy fold over the top card, but we do it nice and slow. We're all creating together at the same time. So it is a little bit different from a video because sometimes, you know, the magic of television takes over on a video, but not when we're on our happy hours. We really enjoy ourselves. And I've got a fantastic card. August 12th is our next happy hour. So, all right. So here we go with the next card. This is the one that we're going to design our own designer series paper. Lots of florals. And let's jump in. Okay, so our stamp set for our homemade designer series paper, Impressions of Bloom. Okay, I'm going to be using fresh freesia. Once again, guys, that was 5.5 by 11. We scored at 1 1/4, 5 1/2, and 9 1/4. And remember, we fold, crease. We're going to fold the larger panel back, and then this panel goes right over because that's what's going to give us the 3 panels that we need. Okay, let's do a little stamping. So you remember on our last card, we just stamped the little flower in hello. We're going to stamp some flowers here, and we're going to use some fresh freesia, and we're going to use the great big stamp. Actually, you know what? For this stamp set, I tend to really like to use the detail stamp first. So just like we did before, we're only stamping on this panel. This will be here on the front. Looks like I need a little bit right here. There we go. Okay. And leave that fresh freezy out because now we'll come in with the background stamp. And just like we kind of did before, we are going to stamp off, get a lovely shot at the top of my head as I do this because I really want to see right where I'm stamping. Isn't that so pretty? Let's see. Let's fold. I gotta get the right. I always look for that longest petal. That's the one that helps me find the middle. Find the center of the flower and get it set just right. But let me tell you, even if you don't hit it just right, it's fine. It really, truly is. There we go. Oh, I forgot to stamp off. Oops. It's okay. It's okay. Look, it's on the inside. No one will see it anyway. Okay, so let me set that off to the side. And now I'm going to come in with some pecan pie. And we're going to kind of do that exact same thing. We've got a great little center here. And we're going to do that one in a solid. Okay. This one, we're going to stamp off. Maybe I'll remember to stamp off each time. Who knows? I talk and stamp, anything can happen. Okay. I'll go ahead and get this one here, even though it's just that little bit. Everything deserves it. Okay. Here we go, friends. That is the front of my card. Now, we are going to come in and we're going to create our own designer series paper. So I have a piece of basic white, 5 1/4 by 7 1/2. We are going to do kind of that exact same thing. And I'll tell you what, I'm just going to do part of it here. Okay. So we're just going to kind of move things along. Of course, you're going to do this to the whole sheet. I'm going to stamp off. Okay, so we make our beautiful little flowers here. I will do my best to remember to stamp off. Okay, so you're going to do that. We're going to do our pecan pie. On this one, I got to tell you, it doesn't matter which one you start with, but just remember the solid one, you stamp off. And by the way, this makes great polka dots. If you are anything like me, we love us some polka dots. So you'll get that. Now I'm going to bring in crushed curry. And we're going to bring in another flower, and that's this one here. So this is, it's just a smaller flower. And just like before, I'm going to start with the outline or the detail. And then we will stamp off. Whoops. And go right on top, stamp off. Now you could also, if you wanted to change this up, you could also use Daffodil Delight. You know, feel free to, if you're not a big fan of stamping off, that's fine. We have a little center for this flower. Stamp off. I love making my own designer series paper. It is one of my favorite things to do. Okay, we have that. Now let's bring in Lost Lagoon. I just think these colors look so pretty together. And we're going to take the leaf. And I'm only going to use the one. I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to try to do the two-step on it. It's just not anything I feel like I need to do. But we will come in. We're going to add leaves. Keep in mind, remember, guys, you're going to do this all over your card. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the word thanks. Whoops. And in pecan pie, you're going to stamp thanks and just kind of fill in. Okay. Now, I have gone ahead and filled up the whole thing for you. Okay. So that's kind of what it looks like when it's all done. And give me just a second. I'm going to close up some ink pads because, well, it's me. I will wear this ink if I don't. Or my card will get laid in the ink because I do that too. Okay. Let's bring in our paper cutter. And so here we go, friends. We're going to cut with the 7 1/2 at the top. We're going to cut 1 1/2 inches, 4 inches, and 2 that are 1 inch. Okay. Now, let me tell you something. Sometimes when you make your own designer series paper, you will find, like, I think these two pieces look good. This one needs a little something, right? It's got a little, I call it a bald spot. This is your opportunity that you could come in and just add a little bit. So let me show you what I mean, because this can happen. So I think I'll add no, you know what? I think I'll add just a leaf to kind of fill in. It's whatever you want, or I could stamp a thanks right there, whatever you feel it needs. But if you'll just add something, it really fills in pretty good. Now, let's see, this one actually kind of needs a little bit more crushed curry. So again, it's so easy to add just a little bit. So don't feel like you got to keep it right where it is. I think that looks great. So it's an easy way to go and fill in. All right. Got stamps everywhere. Let's bring in our card base. And we're going to start to put our card together here. You guys probably know the drill, but we're going to add this one here. We'll add this one here. Again, with this particular flower and how random I was, there's really not a right or wrong way. Okay. We've got our 2 pieces that are going to go here on our card. You know, I was telling you, oh, cut it this way. And, you know, friends, I'm telling you, I made this card 2 months ago. I work about a month in advance. And so I'm like, wait, what did I do? Because remember, we were supposed to do this in June, and then the internet said, oh, no, you are not. Okay, so we've got this part done. I didn't stamp the inside. I think I'll go ahead and just kind of show you. So I stamped a couple more of the large flowers. I stamped I appreciate you, and I did that in Lost Lagoon. Okay, and then my focal image that I used on my belly band. You guys saw how we put the belly band together. I stamped thanks, a few flowers, a few leaves, and then this time I used the gold mesh ribbon. You can tell I like it because I'm almost out of it. I loved this ribbon, and I thought it just looks so beautiful with the colors, especially with that fresh freesia. So these cards are just, they're super easy. They're beautiful. And of course they stand, you know, we love those mantle worthy cards. You guys are saying that you love it. NJ Card Maker says, is there a diagram for this one? Now, NJ, I know that you are a member of the YouTube membership. And yes, there is a diagram in the file. If it's not, let me know, because there is one. So yeah, friends, I do diagrams. If you are a Fun Fold friend or a Fancy Fold fanatic on my membership. So that's why when you're seeing people asking that question, that's what those are. We shared the file for that with our members yesterday. So you guys should have that one. I'll tell you what, I do have a few minutes. So how about I show you what we're going to create next week? These are kind of just these fun little pull tab cards. And check this out. We love the cards for the kids, the grandkids. I love you no matter what. And do you see the little pull tab? Look at that. You'll always be the one for me. And those adorable little flowers and that adorable little bee, little Winkastella on her wings. I loved this card. I think they are so fun. So we have that one. But if you want to go vertical, check out A Good Friend is a Gift. And we're going to take the card going this way. So you got options. All right. So whether you want your card to open left to right or up and down, but it is such a fun card with that little pop-up. And we're going to be using the Stylish Shapes dies on that one. So friends, thank you. Thank you. I hope that you're excited about next week. That's going to be August 7th. That we'll be creating that one together. But you guys know I share twice a week here on the channel. So if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button. Remember, subscribing to the channel is absolutely free. And if you ring the bell to get notified, YouTube will let you know whenever I post a new video. I post on Tuesdays, and then I'm live on Thursdays Of course, the replays are always here for you. So even if you can't make it live, you can always catch us on the replay. And then if you want to learn a little bit more about the membership, there's a join button right next to subscribe. Click that and you can read all about the membership. Hey, give it a try. You can cancel it any time. So it gives you a chance to kind of try it out. And when I say I have diagrams for Fun Fold Friends, that's for every single video that I share throughout the month. And then for my Fancy Fold fanatics, they get the diagrams and the written tutorials for every card that I create here on the channel. And then, of course, we have happy hour. That's what they were talking about earlier. Happy hour, where we get together and we create a card nice and slow. We have a great time crafting together, chatting, laughing, creating. It's a lot of fun. And I hope that you guys will give it a try. I'll tell you what, let me see. Can you give me a second? I'll go grab those cards. They're right here on the other side of my computer. And we have got the coolest cards for August 12th. Is when we're going to do these. So let me kind of show you. We're going to create a multi-panel accordion card. And it's a 2-sheet wonder. It's a 2-sheet wonder because we're going to use 1 sheet of one color and 1 sheet of the background color. And I've got diagrams to show you how to cut those perfectly. And we're going to do all that together. We're going to do the cutting and the creating. All of that we're going to do on our happy hour. So I hope. Oh, Sandy says, ooh, can't wait. Yeah, Sandy's a member of the membership. Thank you, Sandy.
Connie,
and
Connie,
yeah.
will you tell everybody what time those events are?
Yes. So happy hour takes place at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So that one is in the evening if you're in the United States. So, oh, Bobby is a brand new member. Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. Woohoo. It just popped up for me. And yeah, we do that one in the evening. And it takes about, typically, it really depends. We all kind of tend to work at about the same pace. It's not fast, but we all tend to work about the same pace. And like I said, we take it nice and slow, but I'd say give yourself about an hour, hour and a half, probably more like an hour and a half, because we do visit a little bit and we kind of, like I said, we take it slow. And so yeah, this card, I'm going to say you're probably going to need about an hour and a half of creating together. Keep in mind, it's the first time you'll be creating it, and we want everything to go nice and smooth. So, all right, guys, that is what we have today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you guys will go grab the free download that goes along with the cards today. Remember, you can go over to Simply Simple Stamping. It'll be up here in about, 8 minutes or so. And Brenda has shared the link to the free download. So go grab that free download so that she'll have that. And so when you're ready to recreate the cards, you're going to have those measurements there. Give this one a try. It is so fun. Whether you use designer series paper or make your own, I think you're really going to enjoy creating this card. And easy peasy, right? The first one with designer series paper, it went really, really fast. But like I said, I do love to create my own designer series paper. It brings me a lot of joy. And I have these stamps and I want to use them. So, all right, friends, thank you. Mwah. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.